Good morning, math wizards and math scholars. Today's a very exciting lesson. Guess what it's about? It's about fractions. Yes, of course. But a little different. We're not going to estimate and round like we did yesterday. I know that's a tough one. Today we're going to go right back to adding fractions. A mixed number with a fraction. So we have a mixed number, which is a whole number and a fraction, and we're going to add a fraction to it. So let's get started. Our first one, grab your scratch paper if you haven't already done so, is 3 1/4 plus 1/4. What will this equal? Well, remember, we have the 3 here, right? 1/4 plus 1/4. We need to see if this is more than 1. I don't think it is. Let's add it. Remember, the denominator, it does not change, right? It always stays the same. So it'll stay a 4. And we add the numerators. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we have 3 and 2/4, right? Right. And let's go ahead just for the first one here, do a tape diagram. Not a tape diagram. Yes, a tape diagram. 1, 2, 3, and 1/4. Just so we see how this is all done. So there's our tape diagrams. We're going to break them into fourths, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. What do we have? We have 3 1/4. Just doing this kind of fast. There's 1 whole, 2 whole, 3 whole, and 1/4. So you will agree with me that that is indeed 3 1/4. Of course you'll agree with me. But we're going to do something. We're going to add on 1 more quarter, or 1 more fourth. And there you have it, 3 2/4. Or you could say 3 1/2, because 2/4 equals 1/2. Let's continue on. We have 7 3/4 plus 1/4. What's going on here? Can you see that something different might happen? Let's see. Let's have our 7. Let's do our add the 3/4 plus 1/4. Okay, we have 3/4 plus 1/4. That's what we're adding the fraction part of our mixed number with the fraction. And, oh, hello, Math Mud. It's been a long time since we've seen you. Yes, I've been very busy. What have you been busy doing? Oh, this and that. Okay, I won't ask for details. Please, no details. Okay. So what's so special about this? Why have you decided to come to our class today? Well, because I wanted to remind everybody that the denominator remains the same. It does not change. Yes, the denominator remains the same. And we just go ahead and add the numerator, right? Yes, you add the numerators, but denominator, it does not change. Well, thank you for that very important reminder, Math Mutt. Please feel free to interrupt some more if you've seen something that needs to be looked at closer. So the 4 stays the same. 3 plus 1 is 4. Well, what does 4/4 equal? Does that equal 1 whole? You bet it does. Take a look down here. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4 for 1 whole. So now we can change this to 7. Cross those guys out. Plus 1, right? Equals 8. And we'll continue moving right along. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 problems today. Wow. So let's keep moving on. We have 3/8 plus 5 and 2/8. And there's no need to panic. They just took the mixed number and they put it on this side. So let's go ahead and just add the 3/8 and 2/8. See if it's greater than 1. Remember, all improper fractions are greater than 1. So as Math Mutt told us, the denominator does not change. And 3 plus 2 is the numerator, so 3, 4, 5, so we have 5/8. Now I can go and cross out that 3/8 and 2/8, and I'm left with 5 and 5/8. Do you see how we added the fractions to be equal 5/8, and we have the 5 left over, so this will just equal 5 and 5/8. To me, this is a lot easier to understand than all that rounding and estimating we did yesterday. Maybe not for you, but to me it is. And let's go ahead and add 1/8 plus 6 7/8. What will that equal? Well, let's think about it. What do we need to do first? First thing I need to do is have a sip of coffee. But let's add the fractions. 1/8 plus 7/8. What does that equal? The 8 remains the same. 1 plus 7, 7, 8 is 8/8. What is another word for 8/8? Well, 8/8 is equivalent to 1 whole, right? When the numerator and the denominator are the same, they're 1 whole. So now we can just say, okay, we add the 8th, we add the 7/8, so now it's just 6 plus 1 equals 7. Ta-da! Slow down, Mr. Leggett, you're going too fast. Alright, so now we're going to complete some number sentences, alright? And we kind of touched on this yesterday. 4 7/8 plus something equals 5. Now I want you to think about what this fraction will be to make 4 7/8 equal 5. Well, just think about it. You only need one more 8 to get a 1 whole, right? So, right here, 7/8 plus 1/8 is 8/8, so 4 plus 1 equals 5. Let's continue on. 7 2/5 plus a fraction equal 8. Now, if you're still kind of scratching your head, let's just take a look at a number line, okay? And I'm going to start my number line at 7 and end it at 8. And we're going to break it up into fifths. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and 5/5. So I'm at 7 1/5, 7 2/5. How many fifths do I need to get to 8? Boo! Looks like I need to get 1, 2, 3 eighths to get to 8. So it would be, whoops, 3/5. I'm so sorry. 3/5 to get to 8. So we have 7 2/5 plus 1, 2, 3/5 gets us to 8, right? And you could know here that 2 plus 3 is 5, so we'd have 5/5. I think you're catching on. Let's keep on rolling right along. And we'll do 3 equals 2 1/6 plus what? Well, let's do another number line. And we're going to start with 2, because we're going to start at 2 1/6, because plus a number will equal, or plus a fraction will equal 3. So we have 3. What unit do we break this down into? Sixth. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6. So what are we at right now? 2 1/6, right? We have to get to 3, right? This 3 has to equal 2 1/6 plus something. How many sixths will it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do plus 5, 6 would equal 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's our answer. I bet you're telling yourself, well, yeah, this is starting to make sense. Well, I hope so. Well, let's go to our next one. 12 equals 11 1/12 plus a fraction. Well, let's go ahead and do that number line again. And we'll do 11 and 12, and we'll break them into 12ths. 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12, 9/12, 10/12, 11/12, 12/12. So we have 11 1/12 right here, right? That's 11 1/12. 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12, 9/12, 10/12, 11/12, 12/12. All right. How many do we need to get to the number 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 12s. You see that? So I'm going to put 11 12ths there. So 12 equals 11 1/12 plus 11 12ths to get to 12. A lot of 12s there. Okay, for this, okay, we are going to try to this kind of a different way, because now, well, you'll see. So I'm going to go vertical, going vertical. I'm going to have 2 3/4 plus 2/4. Okay, let's look at this problem. 2 3/4 plus 2/4. Well, I can already see that 3 plus 2 is 5, so I'm going to wind up with an improper fraction. I'm going to wind up with something that's greater than 1. So what do I need to do to make 3/4 one whole? Well, I can do a number bond and make this 1/4 and 1/4. So now I can say 2, 3/4 plus 1/4 is 1, so it'd be 3, plus the additional 1/4 would be 3 1/4. Is that making sense? Because we take the 2 3/4 and we add the 1/4 on, that becomes 4/4, our one whole. So this would be 3. This would be broken down to just 1/4 left, so it'd be 3 1/4. Let's get out the old number line to see how this all works. So I'm going to start at 2. We'll put 3 here and 4 here. We're breaking them into quarters. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 3 1/4, 3 2/4, 3 4/4, 4. So we're starting at 2 3/4, or 2 3/4. What am I adding on? I'm adding 2/4, 1/4, 2/4. Look what happens. Plus 2/4. So I get 3 1/4. Another way to look at this would be, like we were doing before, we had 2 3/4 plus 2/4. What would that equal? Well, let's just add the fractions first. 3/4 plus 2/4 equals 5/4, correct? And what do 5/4 equal? Well, they equal 4/4 and 1/4. So we just go 2 plus 1 plus 1/4 equals 3 1/4. Yay! Alrighty, one more to go. And make sure you get your IXL done. Happy Wednesday to you, by the way. This is for Wednesday. Make sure you get IXL done, your Imagine Learning. You can hop on Zern Math if you like. And make sure you check out the science. I've been posting science lessons up there. We're going to do a science experiment today. And I think that's it. Oh, and you might also, no, we won't do social studies today.